Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I am looking at a paper. This is the Stalogy notebook. Stalogy is a Japanese brand and they have a range of notebooks. This is the 365. It's probably one of the most common. This is the B6 size, which is 128 by 182 millimeters. Sort of standard B6 size, which is a size I actually really enjoy. I tend to find I like the B sizes more than the A sizes, just personally. But what I wanted to show about this is not so much a review of the book as just talk about the paper, because whenever I make paper videos, this is one of the brands of notebook that I keep getting referred to because people sort of go on about, sort of Tom or River and all this kind of stuff, and they say, I use Stalogy notebooks, they find the paper to be great. So I wanted to look at it. Now, Stalogy make a claim that their paper is chosen or carefully selected because it is thin, ink resistant, and allows for a lot of pages. As I said, this is a 365 days notebook. And the concept of this notebook is that you have 365 pages, one for each day of the year. And it is a 5mm grid page. It's a very light grey grid, designed to be incredibly, unobtrusive. The page is, you've got from 7 through to 23, so 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. on the page, so you can schedule out things. And then at the top, it's kind of hard to read, particularly under this light, but you've got the months and the days, and then the date, and you can circle or highlight those depending to show sort of what day this is. It's a nicely made notebook. It's, does everything it's designed to do. It's got decent cover, decent binding, all of that. But that's not what I'm going into today. What I wanted to talk about was the paper. And so in the back, I've done my standard sort of ink tests. I've used a number of fountain pens in different nib sizes with different ink brands, as well as a couple of other sort of standard pens and bits and pieces. So I'm going to run through that. Then I'm going to give you a couple of thoughts that come to mind. Okay, so Diamine Monbotto's hat in a Platypus Pens M10 in the medium nib. That's a standard Yovo medium. Diamine Terracotta in a Lamy 2000, which is quite a wet pen. Then I've got Birmingham Pen Company Gene Kelly Raspberry Rain in my Gravitas Skittle, which is a Yovo extra fine. Then Waterman Red in a Platinum Preppy, Noodler's Bay State Blue in a Jinhao 992 fine, and then KWZ Ink Grapefruit. That's not the iron core, it's the regular, in a Twisby Eco 1.1mm stub. Then I've written with a few non-fountain pens, a Uniball Signo Broad, which is the blue-black, the Sakura Micron 0.5, which is the Hunter Green, a regular Bic ballpoint, a highlighter, a 2B pencil, which is a Tombow brand. I've erased that, and then I've written with a Sharpie. Now, Sharpies are alcohol markers. They are going to eat through most paper. They're not designed for really writing on paper. They're for labeling things and writing on plastics and metals and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so as we can see on the front of the page, everything looks good. The colors all look nice. This paper is ink resistant, allowing for the slower dry time, which gives us the ability to smear a lot of those inks, even the Uniball rollerball there, and the fine liner, the Sakura fine liner. But everything looks really nice. It holds tight. There's sheen, a little bit of sheen on the Diamine there, the Monbotto's hat, but also a little bit of sheen even on the Uniball Signo rollerball there, which I really enjoy. How does it compare? How does it look on the reverse? Well, first things first, there's a lot of ghosting. This is a very light, thin Japanese style paper. But it has a tight weave, so very little comes through. Bay State Blue comes through, but that is one of those inks I use for this purpose because it is kind of abuses most paper, and as expected, the Sharpie comes through. You can see everything else, but maybe a couple of spots there from the Waterman Red in the Platinum Preppy, which is a bit surprising. But we've got the Diamines all looking good, even in the wet Lamy. And then things like the Uniball Signal and all that all look great as well. So, lots of ghosting, thin Japanese paper, high weave, It's hard to find any information about who makes this paper. It's not explicitly stated anywhere online. Neither is the GSM of the paper. So I have thoughts on this. Now, as I said, this isn't a review of the notebook itself. I like this system, this 365 system, and it doesn't necessarily mean you have to use this as a daily planner. This system is just nice, even just as a nice way of dating a page, or if you've got a date, you need to plan out a particular day, or you've got events and things like that. But even these numbers are so sort of unobtrusive that you can just use this as general note-taking on that day, whatever the case may be. And there are other notebooks from Stalogy as well. But what are my thoughts? Well, I think this is Tomoe River 68 GSM. Online, a couple of websites have suggested the paper is 68 GSM, and a couple have suggested it is Tomoe River, but these are not official from the brand. So what I have is, I'll put this open here, and then I have here, I'll move that over, is a Tomoe River 68 GSM writing page. First thing, like there is white and off-white Tomoe River, but I think that lines up fairly closely in terms of the color of the paper. If we look at how the inks look on the page, it's very similar. And if we look at how they, respond, it's also very similar. Noodle's Bay State Blue comes through, not a lot else ghosts through, and of course the Sharpie marker there comes through, but it looks kind of very similar. Now, the weight of this is the 68 GSM. The weight of this, I think, is very, very similar. Here, just for reference, is the 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. This is the Galen Leather Everyday Journal. It's a lot lighter. Obviously, it's hard to tell this through the video, but it is a lot lighter. Ghosting and all that kind of thing. I may be completely wrong, but that is at very, very least, if you are familiar with Tomoe River paper, the 68 GSM, you will understand how this paper feels, how it writes, how it sheens, how it shades, how it ghosts, and all that kind of stuff. So at a very, very worst case, if you are familiar with Tomoe River 68 GSM paper, you will know what you are getting with the Stalogy notebooks. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Please feel free to get in touch using the platforms listed below. You can contact me on Instagram or Twitter at @the_offstage_me, or you can contact me on any of my videos here, or drop me an email which is listed down below. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you'd like to support the channel by sponsoring a review or providing an item for review, I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your notebooks, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.